maybe, just maybe RSG will ban that, because I know for sure that Evil don't care about banning Alice.
All right, this is something very interesting, right? Like, Team Evil actually has a second highest average team GP and gold per minute. First being Kingdom Esports at 701. So which means that they've been really farming and they've really been going around killing the enemy, because definitely in terms of kill death ratio, Team Evil all the way up top, 1.55 average KD. Then the second place is definitely going to be Kingdom Esports at 1.22.
Yep.
So this is a very, bloodthirsty team that is looking to create space for results by eliminating your players.
Yep. So this is very reminiscent to how MPL ID plays, or just basically Indonesian meta for the side of Team Evil. And I would like to cross-refer a little bit as to how MPL ID hero statistics as compared to Team Evil's statistics, right? If whether they play some of these heroes or whatnot. With Yusujin being the top. Being the top, so top to the bottom, I will name out the first 10 with Yi Sun-shin, Jusin, Granger, Lancelot, Gatokacha, Harif, CC, Farsa,
They call me a hero.
Interesting.
Because I saved my
I think there's
nation
also
from
another thing
falling
to take
apart.
note is that some of the stats that you see from MPL ID and also from MPL PH is a little bit skewed, because they started the leaks before the next up patch and also the next update. So yeah, but right now, Jusin being selected by the side of Team Evil, you saw how Bougie could use it to great success.
Yep.
Team Evils are looking to do that again. Now, Sayla is a very interesting mid laner, right? Usually, if you want to compete, there are two kinds of mid laners in MPL Singapore. There's a Kurtizi that does a lot of damage and goes around and kill, whereas there are mid laners such as Sayla, invisible, outputting damage in the background, but then, unable to do kills, but you can definitely feel his presence.
Okay, this is actually a very interesting draft coming from RSG. Them picking out Chip essentially just directly says that we want to fight you.
Yeah, and this is super free right now for the side of Team Evil to pick up.
Yeah, this is scary. I don't know whether Evil will even pick up the Alice, like they prepare for that or whatnot, or would they want to draft so that they can prepare against the Alice?
Seems like they're not going to go for the Alice instead. It's going to be, wait, hold on.
Kiss.
Arlott being selected by the side of Team Evil. RSG definitely going to counter-pick that one away.
Okay. So, with the jungle that has burst, and so far the MO for Evil when dealing with an Alice is that they want more burst potential. Right now, with only Joy as the bursty one, and unfortunately, since Jusin has already been picked, their mage can no longer burst. They need to look for some other avenues for that kind of burst potential. And unfortunately, right now with the Arlott that has already been picked, there is of course a possibility that the Arlott can still go roam. It could still go XP. What are some of the XP laners that actually can, well, burst?
I don't think so, right? The XP laners right now in this particular patch is mostly just being there, just outputting damage over and over again, doing DPS. Basically, right? I think the biggest burst right now that you're seeing thus far is probably Lapu Lapu. Just slap on and then start splitting around. I don't think Hilda is a good idea for EXP laner.
I still kind of think, okay, so if Hilda doesn't work well as an XP laner, then at least it is still a bursty hero that you can put maybe in the roam side. I still want to stick to the idea that Evil needs more burst and needs some shred.
Joy has burst.
Joy has burst, but it's not enough.
I think that's good enough, because after that there's also the DPS that the Jusin can also output. Arlott to a certain extent does have quite a decent amount of damage in the early game as well, and also utility. You see the Harry getting taken down away by Team Evil as well, because there's a lot of AoEs. If RSG actually locks in audit here, I think that's a little bit crazy coming up from RSG.
Yeah, but I hope that they don't double down on that.
I think you double down on that. AoE Swan Song into an ultimate of Alice. Man, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of CCs.
They will be putting a lot of their eggs in just one basket.
Yeah, basically they're just gonna go by Unga Bunga.
Would it even be one basket, or would it be half a basket? To the point that it starts to overflow and become super unnecessary.
Alright, it seems like they're not going to go for that one. They're going to go for the Valentina instead. Which is interesting, right? usually you go for the Valentina to get some of the big ultimates away from the side Team Evo, but looking at that, I think the Final Slash is the only big ultimate that RSG could possibly steal.
Unless they're setting up for something. I mean, they could be setting up for the fact that Evil could be getting big token ultimates, right? Because it is a chip, and it is an Alice after all.
Oh, no, okay.
Oh,
That's literally giving the ultimate over to Son of Valentina, right? Locking in the Khalid. That's going to be a gear on it. Arlott then playing the Claude. If I'm not mistaken, this could be our... Oh, this is the second Claude that we've seen thus far.
Okay, so it does seem to be pretty understandable considering the fact that they need one guy that shreds. They need at least one guy to burst. So Evil will now stick to the fact that they have one burst, one shred. The rest is just crowd control.
Interestingly, Claude was the last Claude being used was actually by Ash. So is this basically Ven's way of saying, okay, I'm going to counterpick this Claude away because you just don't want to give it over to the side of RSG. If not, they're going to get a lot of AoEs. They're going to secure, they're going to finish up their drafting phase with this Bruno pick from the side of Ash. But if you notice how RSG has been playing Ash, right, it's been putting him all the way down to a 4+1 situation all the time. He's just looking at turrets and turrets only.
So, do we have an early game for Evil for them to be able to steamroll?
Khalid. Joy.
Technically, just Khalid and Joy. Actually, you know, Arlott does have a not too bad damage as well.
Yep.
Just bring a Fury Hammer onto him and he should be pretty good to go. Ultimately, they have pretty decent wave clear from the Juicin plus the Khalid combination altogether. They should be able to wave clear much faster than a Valentina plus the chip combination, especially since RSG's mid lane is actually very comical. They don't have a very large, or rather very high reach. So it will be quite a battle, which is something that Evil will love. They want to fight it out, they want to battle. In fact, there really isn't exactly a true need for them to influence the other lanes in this game. So they might actually just brawl it out in the middle lane, having the Juicin and the Khalid just outright harass and outright just force and push away the middle lanes to stop them from clearing out the waves.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be starting off with powerful, like what you mentioned, right? We're just going to fight for map mid control. Wave clear very quickly. The Valentina is going to have to commit a lot more. Level 1 Valentina wave clear is abysmal without the support of the roamer from RSG. That's why if you notice, Chip is also lingering on the other side right there.
So as much as possible, you can see RSG, they're completely sharped out and they're not too willing to get close. The main problem is Valentina always have a problem with reach. And with Powerful that has got very strong base damage out of the Desert Tornado, and the fact that Sayla can pick you up anytime to deal pretty decent damage in early game plus a pretty long crowd control, you gotta be real careful as a Valentina.
Powerful, hard invading alongside with Aether as well. Doesn't really have level 4 just yet, but this counter jungle is gonna impact PTBL in terms of the farm just a little bit. But don't forget, it is still a chip for the side of RSG that the Hoki can definitely abuse.
Yep. So Evil is definitely playing according to what I would be expecting out of them. High aggression based on their roaming trio, push away the middle lane because of their short reach, and not necessarily just influencing the lanes all that much, because there is not much of a kill pressure coming in from the XP lane. And for the gold lane, Claude is a very self-sustaining hero that has very good mobility coming in with his BMI.
PTBL will be able to scout out Aether down low just a little bit more, force a Phantom Execution out. You can see the slow coming off from Ben with the first skill as well. Will not be able to tag onto PTBL for now, we'll back off.
Yep, so they're preparing themselves for a fight for the turtle. I understand that they won't be expecting too much fight because they have already seen that Hoki is only at level 2.
Torres down low as well, pops the passive to be able to just survive out of that one. But Ven is actually holding quite strong against Ash, and that's actually a very good point for the side of Ven, right? Right now, it's just Team Evil sizing up for a turtle fight. It's just them clearing. This is just literally textbook, right? Opening up the map, making sure that all the blind spots are open so that Aether will be able to secure the turtle for himself.
Yep, not just it's not just about zoning them out, but it's really just all about bringing Taurus HP all the way down so that he is not ready to take up a fight up in the turtle lane. Even if he doesn't kill him, it's fine.
Thorn of Ruin already activated by the side of Taurus. First Blood already secured by the side Team Evil. Phantom Execution is going to be able to try to sidestep that one. Raging Sandstorm brought in Havoc by the side of the Team Evil as well. Will be able to land onto somebody from the side of RSG Singapore to kind of sway them. Murphy and Ash down low just a little bit. Murphy will be able to try to dash away, but Gear unable to commit for the chase as Taurus is already back from the respawn. PTBL joining in the fight, picks up Gear as a consolation prize.
It's a 1-for-2 trade. They have almost managed to get the final hit onto Murphy. Would be great if they managed to, but oh, Van, right as I said about that, about the self-sustainability, can't get himself away from Bruno just by a hair.
If that is a enhanced football, that would be the doom for the side of Van. Van was really lucky right there.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case.
Thorn of Rune already activated. Aether still secures the turtle for himself, but now it's going to be Aether trying to run in for the hills. Powerful coming and slice and dicing right there. The Raging Sandstorm still being kept for now as RSG disengages.
We've got quite a bit of focus down over to Murphy, being one of the main, one of the easier targets from the side of RSG, right? Because Taurus is not going to be easy to kill. I believe that they will want to ignore him all the way until the late games where DHS as well the Golden Staff is available onto Van.
Yep.
While PTBL is just a little bit too slippery for them to catch.
Yep.
So most of the time, most of these Raging Sandstorms and for Sailor is more of a disruptor. But for the real catch, really just boils down to Powerful looking for the opportunity onto Murphy.
Yeah, Raging Sandstorm was being kept on just now in that previous sequence right there. And if you notice top side, it's actually kind of interesting, right? Gear's actually holding out quite okay against Taurus, as does Alice, but because of the innate wave clear from the side of Taurus, he's able to just wave clear already very quickly, and then after that start rotating even faster as compared to Gear.
Yep. In this case, I would say that both of Alice as well as Arlott, their ultimates are not exactly very devastating in a 1v1 context. So none of it's not going to change in terms of power level from before level 4 and after level 4. So it will always be a stalemate up in the top lane until someone makes a mistake. In the meantime, down in the bottom lane, there will be a bigger difference because Claude can wave clear so much faster.
Either taking away, okay, this is still PTBL securing his own orange buff as well, but it seems like PTBL working on Gear for now. Touch and go. It's a very slow-paced game. This is not something that you expect from a Team Evil game.
The main thing for Team Evil is that they identify who they can actually kill and what can they actually do. The roaming trio can't possibly do anything about chips because that will only put them in a very rough spot. The only idea is actually putting themselves right over to the Valentina.
Sailor showing some love over the side of RSG right there. The turtle ultimately getting reset. The Aether is not ready for any sort of fight. As a Joy, you really need to rely on your teammates to basically set up the turtle first before you go in with the ultimate.
With both of the junglers at level 9. Except for Aether, actually. Aether is only at level 8. So we can clearly see that there is a bit of a discrepancy. Okay, so at least they can come in fight.
Oh, Taurus goes into Thorn of Ruin as well. The Massive will be able to catch onto Powerful. Powerful tries to get on away, flickers back to safety. Members from the side of RSG Singapore will not be able to touch him, but Hoki picks up Sailor as well. Gear going in, tries to do the final slash right there, but will not be able to catch onto Hoki. The turtle immediately forgotten as PTBL turn it around, and they are in a very good position right now.
With about 1,000 gold lead for RSG, they definitely want to play for the lanes now. And being able to take away the T1 turret in the middle lane, that is so good for RSG. Honestly, having the Alice in here is such a good pick that completely catches Evil off guard just because of the Juicin first pick, Juicin first pick. And that just gives Evil the lack of burst potential that they usually have in other games.
They're trying to go for this one. Nice Thorn Rose right there, but not good enough. Blazing Duet will be able to land him. The shutdown over the side of Team Evil. And now, at the very least, Ash cracks him in top lane.
Yep, it's a lane for a jungler. pretty equal, especially since PTBL had a 3-kill spree. We do have a bounty that actually Ven managed to collect for himself, and that will translate over to a DHS.
Mid lane also cracked open for the side of Team Evil. RSG Singapore is actually going the mile in terms of, you know, getting everything they wanted, right? It all started with the aspect. Taurus, Thorn of Ruin, the ultimate. It literally just sets up everything for RSG Singapore, laying down Team Evil like it's red carpet.
3-5. Seems like RSG have got more kills, but both of them completely neck and neck. Teetering on a breaking point, these two teams will look out for the Lord in 30 seconds time.
Shortcut right down the bottom lane. Aether immediately getting deleted. Team Evil has to make the trade. They're going to bum rush topside instead.
Trying to trade tit for a tat. No problems at all. They do manage to get all of the side turrets down, at least for Evil. While for RSG, yeah, all 3 down. But Evil, they still gotta have to focus on middle.
Yep. We go towards the later parts of the game where, you know, the likes of Ven should come online. But don't forget, RSG Singapore also packed quite a lot of punch, right? Ash, you've also got Murphy, but hold on a second. Find a slash, we'll be able to catch onto Sayla. Sayla activating the ultimate. Nice Reggie Sensor coming out powerful. We'll be able to catch most of the members from the side of RSG Singapore. Taurus right here, down low, just a little bit more. Gear trying to dash all the way in. Will not be able to commit murder onto him. But Team Evil right here, they take 1 for now.
More than enough to really scare RSG away, right? They brought down Hoki. No way for him to come back until the end of this Lord take. In the meantime, they get the Lord, but they lose their own purple buff. Not too big of a deal, but RSG, SG, oh, they might actually continue.
Hoki activating the ultimate right there, trying to catch one member from the side, Team Evil. Team Evil, however, looks a little bit disjointed. Will not be able to reinforce Gear. Gear ultimately sacrifice over the side of RSG. The tempo for RSG is still going strong.
It's a constellation prize for RSG for losing the Lord ultimately, but they should want to focus onto the side lanes as it is ultimately the easiest way to get some money. And money is what they want. Perhaps not being able to take down the T1 turret is gonna be quite a bummer, but knowing RSGSG, they will defend that like no tomorrow. They just want Van to farm up. It's only 1:0:2, and it's only 10 minutes into the game. Notably, it's only about 12 minutes time, then he will get about 3 items, perhaps. About 3 items, then about 16 minutes, and we'll get the 4th items if the curve continues that way, instead of being able to exponentially get the farms.
Yeah, Malefic Gun is secured by Ash, though, Abstract. That's one of... Okay, speaking about power spikes, Aether picks up Holy Crystal for himself, and now it's just Team Evil setting up, using this Lord to get as much... Ooh, look at how Ven... Yeah, look at how Ven just immediately melts down mid lane turret right here. Powerful, just zoning away the members from the side of RSG Singapore. Sailor also doing the same as well, picking up Taurus as well, just allowing Team Evil to slowly dismantle the defensive structures for the side of RSG Singapore. The holy defense also get proc, and all of a sudden Team Evil is fighting on RSG's side of the map.
Well, I'm surprised. RSG is not trying to push for the defense of their middle lane, because that is really what keeps them holding on.
Aether goes into the ultimate, and now all of a sudden the hot chip ultimate, Raging Sandstorm all the way right there. Nowhere for RSGSG to run as Ven picks up Taurus, and Sailor will be able to catch onto Hoki, giving that kill over to himself.
That is hands down a shortcut to down under. They put literally that was
true.
Yeah, that was a shortcut into Aether that is prepared to go for the rhythm of joy.
Yeah, and not only just that, right? Ven also comes in with the Blazing Duet. It's just so many AoEs, and now all of a sudden the Hoki's shortcut doesn't look very safe anymore. The final slash isolating Murphy. It's going to be a little bit awkward for the side of RSG Singapore to defend Team Evil. They're playing on the back foot, and now they regain momentum.
They managed to get a little bit of an idea where Evil is stealing their orange buff. But with 30 seconds in until the next Lord appears, Evil now stands tall with a massive advantage over RSG due to economy, due to map control. I think that it is a very big miss coming from RSG to not throw bodies and save their T1 turret up in the middle lane, which is something that we see a lot from other teams, because they really focus and understand the importance of having that T1 turret to defend both of their jungle camps and perhaps the entire part of their jungle.
Yep. Lord has spawned right here. Taurus is already on site. The Lord is already getting chunked down, chipped down very quickly. Hoki decides to try to go for the steal, unfortunately, with the ultimate pop already. And now Hoki, unfortunately, will not be able to do anything for now. PTBL working on top side instead. Powerful coming in for the slice and dice. Support the combat committed down in the bottom lane.
As for now, the Lord marches in from the middle with 3,000 gold in favor for Evil. They slowly march their way, while Evil hides themselves within the southern part of RSG Singapore's jungle. They look for an opportunity. They synced up the bottom lane. The Lord spins his trident, and it goes in.
Yeah, they're looking for a form of entry right here from the side of RSG Singapore. Unfortunately, it's going to be a mid and cracking open mid already. PTBL unable to find a good flank. RSG Singapore is getting locked up inside the base. Nowhere is safe against the tyranny of Evil.
Synced up waves once again in the top and the bottom. They're looking for the one advantage, and probably it's just going to be the initiation role, and that exactly is what they want.
And now they're looking at Taurus right here, goes into the Throne of Ruin at the same time. Murphy tags onto the Raging Sandstorm, but seems like Powerful can also do the same. The Blazing Duet coming off from Ben. It feels like he's untouched at all, but Taurus all the way in the back line, wrecking havoc for the side of Team Evil, and he will be able to bring down Powerful. Ash joining the fray right here. Also Murphy taking the Ben as well. 2 members from the side of Team Evil goes down.
It is definitely still a valuable trade for me. Evil knocking down 2 of the inhibitor turrets while losing 2 of their members. That is not going to help RSG to spiral out of control or anything, but it gives a severe map advantage over to Evil as they prepare themselves for the next Lord. They know that the top lane is the priority because the Lord is going to be at the bottom lane. A naturally pushing lane in the opposite side of the Lord will always come into the advantage in winning in the overall Lord's fight, as you force one person to go up to clear that wave, and you fight in a 5v4 game.
So Powerful is riding on a cloud as he rides on the sand. And then he rides the sand on rivers. The physics doesn't work here in Land of Dawn.
This is just about very sneaky plays, I guess. They are playing things a little bit slowly. Everyone is within of their own grasses. Top lane, middle lane completely wiped out, so they're looking for a right timing.
But don't forget, every bush right here is actually very scary, right?
Indeed, yes.
Because Hoki, look at that. Oh, so revealed by the lantern.
Yeah, it's all about timing, really. But RSG, I think that the main thing we're looking out for is the initiation route, right? They don't have those big ticket ultimates that can stun everyone else unless you truly want to just send Taurus in, flicker in, and stun them down. While Hoki, I think that the best thing that they can do is just send Hoki, conceal, jump over the backlines, drop the shortcut. That is more than enough of a kind of a slow that allows everyone else from RSG to just flow in. But the question still remains, what is going to keep Evil rooted? They don't have that kind of crowd control.
Hoki, Kunzi plate gets further out, and look at Hoki, one-track mind, just goes and tag onto Ben right here. Sailor goes into ultimate, all of a sudden the main damage dealer from the side of Team Evil has to back off just a little bit more, and RSG catches nobody, and now Team Evil will go in for the counter-attack. It's going to be Gear stepping forward just a little bit, catching onto BTBL as well. We'll be taking him down. Normal jungler for the side of RSG Singapore.
Good flicker coming in from Gear, understanding that offensive flicker will definitely catch up onto PTBL as his puncture marks did not get refreshed. It takes one to know one. As such, Gear hands down just slapped PTBL. Now with a Lord that will be marching in the middle lane with a synchronized wave in the top and the bottom lane. That's just a little bit too much for RSG to even handle this.
Yeah, especially when RSG Singapore is just so busy. Powerful all the way in the back line, trying to push the damage right here. As Sailor will be able to pick out Taurus. Taurus immediately go down as, ladies and gentlemen, Team Evil triumphs against RSG Singapore.
It seems like the early game moved towards the direction of RSGSG, but it still did not work for RSGSG by the end of the game. It's about how you close the game, not how you open the game.
Yep. That has been a consistent theme that we see thus far for MPL Singapore, right? It's like there are teams that do very well in the early, but then make one small mistake, and then after that, it just spirals out of control. No, you're a designer.
I'm a designer, but trust me, I'm a homeowner.
Hey, you make me sound like I'm homeless. But anyways, congratulations over the sign of Ben. Once again, adding one more count to his MVP count because this guy is like what?
6 now, right?
5.
5?
5 counts of MVP when he's only played when he played only 8 games.
So only 3 games that is not MVP.
Yep.
Okay, so where did the MVP go?
I don't have stats for that abstract.
I think
You're asking too much from my Google Sheets.
I mean, this is very comprehensive. I
Yeah.
would have expected that everything that happens in the game will be reflected here.
and the worst part is, I'm updating it manually.
Don't worry, I'm helping you, buddy.
Thank you, bro. But then again, you see, you can start to see a very aggressive emblem, especially as we go into the emblem screen, right? Van goes for the Master Assassin Claude. You don't expect this. You don't expect this. Usually you go for Tenacity because you're usually playing all the way to the later parts game. The last thing you need is you go and Blazing the Way and you get kaput. And also, don't forget, Team Evil's playstyle, if you notice how Van actually uses the Blazing Duet, it is very methodical, right? Just waiting for the right opportunity that's set up by the side of Powerful, and they go in. It feels like Van is slowly becoming part of Team Evil's roster already.
Honestly, it doesn't feel as though there's any form of disconnect. It kind of feels as though they have been playing together for the longest time
Well,
ever.
they've been playing like, what, 2 seasons? This is the 2nd season they played with each other already.
Oh, not 8?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, 7.
7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8. This is the 8th season since they were established.
Oh yeah, including season 3. Okay, my bad. I forgot the plus 1.
Season 3.
I forgot plus 1.
Yeah, math.
I can't math.
It's always like 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Sorry, I need my fingers regardless.
Actually, it is so funny that we're actually stuck on this slide because I can because if you guys switch back to the camera, he's actually pulling out his fingers. And what happens if you actually need to count beyond 20? You bring in your toes.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways,
that's why.
There's sometimes when things I say, it has to go through my big brain.
But I mean, as long as I understood that,
Yeah,
I will beat you.
we'll talk. We'll take this offline. Anyways, just looking at the stats right here, it's just swinging in the favor of Team Evil. Even though Team Evil had a kind of a bad start, but they're slowly able to pick up because once Van start to come online, it's also able to output the damage. And this is a very Team Evil that we expect, right? Usually Team Evil wants to go in and also try to output as much damage as possible towards the enemy, try to take down people. But this time around, now they learned how to macro.
Yeah, I mean, Evil, them, no matter what no matter what people throw at them, they will find an answer.
Yep.
And they are just kind of scary at this point in time. Now makes me think, who is the one that managed to get that 1 game win against Evil?